your love. I have seen your mighty works, Good morning, my loves. This is your girl Sada Star, and I'm your big sis here at the Easy Breezy Life. Welcome, welcome, welcome to week 4 of Easy Breezy Bible Study. We are doing 52 weeks with Jesus this year, and we are on chapter 4. In our link and comment section, you can see that you can purchase this devotional and the book itself directly from Amazon. And let's get right into it. Bread for the journey. Hungry people. Who am I? This is the question Jesus answers through 7 statements found only one place in the 4 Gospels. Jesus begins, I am the bread of life. John 6:35 and 48. The metaphor is rich, even for modern readers. Travel to almost any country in the world and sit in any restaurant, and you will likely find some type of bread on the menu. Not every restaurant serves steak or seafood. Unfortunately, most restaurants don't offer chili dogs, fried chicken, and onion rings, some of my favorites. But almost all serve bread. Bread is a staple of life since the beginning of time. What food is to your body, I am to your soul, Jesus said. Bread is one of the things most humans share in common. If poor people don't have anything else, they probably have bread. Rich people who have everything else will usually also eat bread. Bread is not a food that belongs to a particular region or a particular country. It comes in all shapes and sizes. In South America, it may be a tortilla. In New York, a bagel. In Georgia, a biscuit. If you travel to Ethiopia, you'll find injera. In one simple statement, Jesus reminds us that he is sustenance for all people in all places at all times. Jesus, the feeder. Jesus had just finished feeding 5,000 people with a few loaves of bread and a few fish. He and his disciples had left the crowds and gone across the Sea of Galilee to a place where they could get some rest. But instead, the crowds followed them. Jesus knew exactly why they came. Jesus answered them, Truly, truly, I say to you, you are seeking me, not because you saw signs, but because you ate your fill full of the loaves. John 6:26. Jesus not only knows what we do, but he always knows why we do it. Jesus wants us to follow him for the right reasons, and this crowd was not. They thought they had struck gold with Jesus. He was going to be their bread maker and their fish baker. He was not just a Messiah, but a meal ticket. Not just a Christ, but a cosmic cook. While Jesus wanted to provide for their physical needs, he also had something else in mind. The crowd saw someone in Jesus who could put a steak on every table and meet every physical necessity they had. But in their obsession with the material, they overlooked the spiritual. Jesus challenged them to quit working for the stuff that won't last and to start focusing on the things that will. Then someone asked a great question. What must we do to be doing the works of God? And Jesus answered them, This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he has sent. They did not like that answer. So they said to him, Then what sign do you do that we may see and believe you? What work do you perform? Our fathers ate the manna in the wilderness, as it is written, He gave them bread from heaven to eat. They were saying, Moses fed the people of Israel every day with manna from heaven. Why can't you at least be equal with Moses and do what he did? Jesus wanted to be their savior, but they wanted a sugar daddy. Do you know why the physical and material can bring only temporary satisfaction? Stuff is temporal, but your soul is eternal. By its nature, the temporal can never bring security, significance, and satisfaction to the eternal. No matter how much money you have, you will always want more. Think about your typical Christmas dinner. You sit down and eat until your belly can't contain another morsel. Then you get up and say, I'm so stuffed, I don't care if I ever eat anything again. You are totally satisfied for about 3 hours, and then you return to the refrigerator looking for leftovers. Hunger is something that God has built into the human body to remind us to eat because we'll die without food. There is a spiritual hunger in the human heart and an eternal hunger in the human soul that can never be satisfied with anything other than Jesus Christ, the bread of life. The world wants to satisfy your body. Jesus wants to also satisfy your heart. The world wants you to focus on what will eventually die, your body. Jesus wants you to focus on what is going to live forever, your soul. Think about how bread is made. The process begins when grain is planted in a field. Upon ripening, it must be cut down, ground into flour, and made into dough. Then, before it became bread, it has to pass through the fire of an oven. Jesus was planted as a seed in the womb of a virgin. He was born into this world and grew up completely sinless. And when he was ripe, at the height of his ministry, he was cut down, put through the fire of the oven of God's wrath in the shape of a cross. But he came out of an empty tomb as the finished bread of life. After World War II, Europe was overwhelmed with a number of hungry, homeless children who had been orphaned by conflict. These children were placed into large camps where they received sufficient food and care. But the caregivers noticed the children did not sleep well at night. They were anxious and fearful and restless. The caregivers were stumped until a psychologist formulated a solution. He instructed the caregivers to give each child a piece of bread, not to eat, but to hold after they were put to bed. The results astounded all. The children slept through the night because they knew they would have food the next day. Holding bread gave them a sense of security. They were safe, significance, someone cared about them, and satisfaction. There would be more bread tomorrow. Those things are what those children needed and what every person needs. We are all born with this hunger, but our growling souls can be satisfied only by the bread of life. This week's prayer is, Lord, giver of all good gifts, teach me to hunger for bread that truly satisfies. And this week's question that we're pondering is, are there other appetites and cravings in your life today that quench your hunger for what is spiritual and eternal? I love you. God bless you. And I will see you next week for week 5 of God is Within Her, our easy breezy weekly Bible study.
That's who you are. God, God, you never change. God, God, that's who you are. Say you are.
The only definition
Of a God, no comparison with you.
it all starts and it ends.
Say you are, yes Lord, definition of a God, no comparison with you.
It all starts and it ends.
Here we go. Say God, God, that's all I can say. Whoa. All I have to say. God, God, that's who you are. Oh, God, God, you never change.
Remain the same.
My God, that's who you are.
That's who you are.
God, God, that's all I can say.
All I have to say.
God, God, that's who you are. That's who you are. Nobody else like you. God, hey, you never change. Pato plato, you remain. God, God, that's who you are.
That's who you are.
Nothing less, nothing more. It's all you.
It's all
Nothing less, and there is nothing more. It's all you.
it's all
You are God alone, and you alone are God. It's all you.
it's all
You stand alone, and you do great and mighty things. It's all you.
it's all
Waymaker, provider, yeah. It's all you.
it's all
Tell me who can make a way. Tell me who can raise the dead. Tell me who can heal the sick. Hey, it's all you. God, God, that's all I can say.
all I have to say.
God, God, that's who you are. Oh, Manani Kalia Namamoto. I know a God who never changes. He remains the same yesterday, today, forever. Hey.
You remain the same.
If you were good last year, you are still good this year.
That's who you are.
Shinana no sena, kiana no sena. Yana no se me kotene no se. Yebarado kozeto. Yana no sanana ko. Sana yana kanana no sana. Yes, Lord, you're my God.